Mass protests erupt over forceful destruction and occupation of Kuki bunkers by CRPF, BSF in Manipur. Thousands of Kuki people have taken to the streets in various parts of India, protesting the forceful destruction of their existing bunkers and the occupation of Kuki volunteer bunkers by personnel from the Central Reserve Police Force, CRPF, and Border Security Force, BSF, in the Saibol area of Manipur. The Kuki community alleges that these actions have been carried out with the support of Meitei terrorist groups, further inflaming tensions in the region. Protests sweep key locations. Protests erupted in Moreh, Kanggui, Lamka, and even Delhi, where Kuki diaspora members joined the demonstrations. In Moreh, located on the Myanmar border, large crowds gathered to denounce the security forces' actions, claiming that the occupation of Kuki volunteer bunkers is a direct violation of their rights. The protests spread rapidly, with rallies also held in Kanggui and Lamka, where Kuki youth, leaders, and community organizations voiced their outrage over the forceful dismantling of their defensive structures. In Delhi, Kuki groups staged a peaceful sit-in at Jantar Mantar, calling on the Indian government to intervene. They demanded that the CRPF and BSF immediately vacate the Kuki bunkers and hold accountable those responsible for the destruction and occupation of these vital structures. Economic blockade launched. The Kuki community has imposed an economic blockade along all national highways passing through Kuki territories, including NH37 and NH2. The blockade has severely disrupted transportation and supply chains in the region, with Kuki groups pledging to continue the blockade until their demands are met. The blockade has paralyzed local markets, fuel supplies, and the movement of goods, escalating tensions further. Security forces have been deployed along the affected highways, but the Kuki community insists that the issue lies with the illegal occupation of their bunkers, not merely the blockade. They argue that the presence of CRPF and BSF in their designated bunkers, often occupied with the backing of Meitei militant groups, undermines their right to self-protection. Background of the crisis. The Kuki community has faced ongoing ethnic tensions with the Meitei community in Manipur, especially over territorial disputes and communal violence. The Kuki volunteer bunkers were set up as a means of self-defense following previous attacks. The destruction of these bunkers and their occupation by security forces has been seen as an attempt to diminish the Kuki people's self-defense efforts and further escalate hostilities. Government response and outlook. The Indian government has yet to respond publicly to the protests. However, sources suggest that discussions are ongoing and calls for dialogue are being made. The Kuki community continues to demand the immediate withdrawal of the CRPF and BSF from their bunkers, along with greater assurances for their safety and autonomy. The situation remains volatile, with protests showing no signs of slowing down. It remains to be seen whether the government can resolve the issue through dialogue or if tensions will escalate further. Stay updated on the crisis. Subscribe to Zalengam Media for the latest news. For the latest updates on the Kuki protests and other developments in the Northeast, subscribe to Zalengam Media. Stay informed with our comprehensive coverage.
Last option Tua hi pung thum sunga hi police ho Saibol CRPF ho hi dingo hilanga bai chama kung ho khu aga no pung thum sunga hichu ka bol diu he hin hichu abol do zo lo bu chu tua hi ho khel lo wa inga diu he pung thum Sudah wa ilung khat na ikam ro wa hen koi ma sa ina ikile lo de ngo ilung tu kung thum sunga hi bol so nam ti inga su kai de ngo win tiam na le taw na kai le ju na hi ko mang ro ko na inga de ko he ho ai lo ala na hi no silai ma ma hi inga di we ha second deposit prepayment ball sa itain tua hi adam hi poin tilai mun ma mai nga diu sp yung photo lo din dia isma photo lo de hi sa chu morai po sa lo diu he hi sa chu ito den diu idin den diu ir de im diu inga diu thum diu tuai tu thati na tu thati diu de sa tu diu de that means 340 kumli sorry kumna bakai ai lo le kum sam ti ni na hi chu amon anor ha lo wa le ko ma ko na thu an pi tu na cso e kum pi lang cso tu jo alam da ni thu pi tu e anor ha lo nge wa le lo tu ni na hi chu asi chu yo in song even te ga hi yo in trai ko na iswa wa to ke wa ile Saibol lo dim set ewa nga apa chu mome ha bisa chu apa thai lo wa kala nga ho chu akire su lo wa lo ang le ewa nga apa chu lo dim set mome na bisa chu amo thai la nga ho chu ano su diu ano su lo nge wa agar hu yo la kan lo de agar un se lo wa kan lo de agar lo su nga na ano su lo wa hi le aban chi ho ko nam tai na bisa chu lu ko so tin inga diu wi ma sawan lu set na mi pi ho Lamka ho to sot na zong le mi pi za na Lamka ho ma hi sin na po ye ti lo hin no ni sam da lo po do hi si chun na lu set te wa chi po tin ti sun lu khat te pan la khom ki to te ti chu ave la kan he sa hin te bisa chun inga ho hi diu na mai din diu ha mi to diu te wa thun thun na abo ya le Lamka ho ye start play ki ngai ton tin chai chi pha vai to diu ye ha to diu bisa chu ma zo se yo lung to ai lo le ho lung de ya chi lo le ko li bo ko to to na bisa chu khat pe ta chu pa sa ki lo te na ni lo ke lo le bo ko to diu ha ta chu
Dan ako. Pati yan.
Nauna ka lang nga.